Did I mute my phone? I think I actually did for once. I think I amazingly remembered to mute my phone. Let's take a look. Did I? I'm waiting to see if there's a pop-up. Oh, it does say live, so it looks like it is working. Hey, I did remember. Good for me. For once, I remembered. Reflector I've already preset, so I remember to do that. Okay. And I can close this. And I think the only thing I have to do is... Oh, I have to load the source for YouTube. Let's see. It doesn't see it yet. I think I have to give this a second. Yep. Oh, wait. Upcoming. No, it's not upcoming. It's already live. This is the only thing. Let's see. This does take a minute. I know that. Let's see. What does auto find do? I don't think that actually works. I think that's supposed to work, but I don't think it actually works because it still doesn't show an active stream. Just waiting. Not that it really matters, except I won't see the chat windows correctly. Oh, jeez, what is it with this thing? You know what? There had to be one thing that wasn't going to work. Had to be. This has been that type of day where there's just been a series of small annoyances. Over and over and over. Nothing big, nothing major, but just minor annoyances. So, you know what? I'm not going to wait for it. I'm just going to get going here. Because I don't feel like waiting around. So the the YouTube chat does not appear to be working. I'll check it in a few minutes. Oh, actually, let me make sure that the Twitch one is. I think Twitch one is because that one usually works fine. Yeah, that one's fine. So, okay. All right, so let's go ahead. There is some... Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's how long it takes. It takes about 2 minutes. All right, it worked. It's just... There's a big lag with that. Okay. Okay, so let's just verify. So now I know I have to wait basically 2 minutes for that to come up. There it is. All right, here we go. Let's do this. And then let's turn off that. And then we should be good. Let me wait. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump. Oh, the mic is really low. Hold on, that's why. All right, good. You're seeing it. My mic is way lower than usual. Let me move it up, because otherwise I'm going to bump it constantly. All right, there we go. Now we're up and running. Okay, so what you should see, I mean, I'm seeing it, so I'm assuming you're seeing it, is a flower. That flower is part of the, sorry about the yawn, the Plantastic Pothead image I'm doing here, which is going along, but one thing I needed was flowers. Actually, let me turn all this stuff off, because I'm going to finish the flower first. Because I want to do more than one. I want to have a little bit of... Well, I guess I really don't need to. I don't need to do more than one. But I do need to do a few more things with this one. So let's do one more layer under here. Let's do the taper pen. Let's put that taper pen down a little bit and see what we get. Just see. Oh, yeah, okay. I just want a little bit of a... That's not much of a difference. Hold on, let me move it down a little bit more. How much does that give me? Yeah, that's too much. Let's put it 2. Ah, there we go. Ooh, not too much, too much. Just a little bit of variation here. Just enough that I can look slightly... Oh, okay, that little bend actually worked out. Just a little bit of... Okay, don't do that one. Let's put another one here. Ah, now you can see it. That's better, because now you can really see the difference in weight. Hey, Carmelian, happy Monday. It is Monday, right? Yeah, it is Monday. How are you doing? Let's do that. Okay. Oh. I don't like the way the end of it looks. Let's do that. That's better. I hope you're having a nice day. Staying cool. Fortunately, the weather has kicked down a bit here. It was 100 and... I want to say 4 on Friday, and then 101 on Saturday. And now it's only 90. Which, I'm only half joking when I say that, because that's great. Compared to what it was, I'll see, the angle on that thing is all wrong. We do it like this. That's it. There we go. Do a little bit of a thing there. Just a little bit. A little outside edge there. Let's, actually, no, don't do that one. Do this one. Turn that. Let's angle that. There we are. There we are. Much better. I'm good, just bored. Doing some drawing. Well, good. That's a good solution to boredom. is to do something creative. So I'm doing some drawing too. Not that I was bored, but I was working on some. Sorry about the yawning. I really don't know where that comes from. At some point I'll figure it out, or I probably won't. I was doing some video editing earlier. I'm very close to being done with the 4th of 4 parts of an 8-part video, or sorry, an 8-episode video. Very close, which I'm happy about because I like the process, but I really enjoy having them done so I can get it, you know, posted up and ready for release. Not that that part's going to come out for, I think, 4 months, just because, you know, I'm posting a part per month, and that doesn't even start, the first part doesn't even post until next month. So it's a little ways off, but still, I do love I get a high degree of satisfaction out of finishing a video edit. I really do. I'm trying to find some new styles to post on your channel at the end. Oh, great. Is the new channel live already, or you haven't launched it yet? Because if it's already available, feel free to post in the chat. I don't care if people want to promote their stuff. Doesn't bother me. So feel free. You know, I don't like that at all. I don't like how it looks like it's overlapping like that. That's no good. I'm gonna do it a little differently than that. Like that maybe. There we go. Just a bit. Otherwise, once it's live, you can always come back and post it. But like I said, I know some people get they don't like people posting their stuff, as it seems to be like I don't know. They just don't like people promoting their own stuff on their channels. I don't care. I'll just, as long as it's not, you know, scummy kind of, you know, selling viewers stuff. I don't like that. But as far as people who are in the stream saying, hey, check my channel out, as long as it's not scummy, you know, I don't want to see any advertisements for like a pro-Nazi channel or anything like that. But short of that, if you got a link and you want to post it, you're not going to offend me at all. Don't bother me at all. Go for it. I think I was on 3 for the main. Let's just see here. Yeah, that was definitely it. Other than that, go ahead and promote. Doesn't bother me. Like I said, as long as you're not spamming, as long as your content isn't something hateful, then I got no problem with it. Oh, by the way, to anybody, at least at the time of this being live, happy Pride Month, if it so applies. If not, happy June. Still beginning of the month. Either way. Works either way. The only bad part about June is that now the heat is really going to start coming. Where is that? I thought so. Yeah, there we go. It has a few videos, but they are horrible. The name is Ray Does Things. Oh, hey, listen. Originality is not a big deal. It really isn't. So, you know what? Originality, in terms of originality, because I have thought about this actually quite a bit, because obviously this type of stuff comes up in the many current discussions on generative tools and whether they are creative or not. So I've had this discussion. I don't think you need, you know, creativity is great. But at the same time, I really have never felt like that angled line is bothering me. I have to fix that. That cannot stay like that. Where was I going with this? Oh, you know, inspiration's important too. There is a difference between ripping off and finding somebody who's doing something and being like, wow, this aspect of what they're doing. And especially with naming above all things, who cares? You know, the reality is nobody, our show title is so bad, but I'll never change it. I will never change it. I've seen podcasts after a while like, all right, we're changing our name. I will never change the name of our show because that's how people found it. And they stuck with it even with the horrible title in the beginning. Do I really think that they're going to bail now if I change the title? I doubt it. So I've never really understood that. If people found you with a certain name, unless, of course, the name, you know, there are cases where people change the topics of their show or the way their show is architected. Well, that's different. Now you're talking about changing the actual makeup of the show. But I've seen people who've decided, hey, you know what, we're going to rebrand as this. After, you know, but they're still doing the same thing. And I'm sitting here going, why? If, like I said, if people found you even with the other name, I don't know. I've never really understood that, if it's just to change the name for changing the name's sake. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Unless, like I said, you're changing the fundamental nature of what you're doing. And then, yeah, sure, of course. That's kind of like a reset or a restart. I get that. But most people aren't doing it for that. They're just doing it because they want to. I hear them say, we want to freshen up the name. Freshen up the name. That's how people found you. Why would you change that? Like I said, just me. What do I know about anything? But that has never quite made sense to me. I mean, unless they're genuinely just sick of it, and they hate it, and they've always hated it, and they've decided to finally do something about it, in which case, okay, sure. But I don't feel like that drives a lot of it. I feel like a lot of times people change it because, I don't know. They're just bored of it. But like I said, if people came and found you that way, I don't necessarily, I don't know why I yawn so much during these things. I really am not bored. But yeah, name changing is a tricky thing. All right, so now, as far as I found a flower color, actually, I think it was this. Yeah, we're gonna use this color. I was just looking around and I found a flower example that I liked that basically had like this kind of color and yellow. I have two channels to separate different content styles so I can see what works best. I just have a couple of cringe merged dragon videos serving. They're traumatizing. Hey, Marumi, welcome. Procreate. Yeah, I love Procreate. Procreate's great. I've been a big fan of Procreate for a long time, and I remain a fan of it. So, yep, let me turn these on. I can turn them off in a second. Let me group this stuff up. I do love Procreate. Okay, let's see here. Let's get this stuff grouped within the group. So we'll call this flower, right? And then these are sketch layers, so we'll group these. Oh, what did I do here? Did I just subgroup a group? Yeah, I did. I know what I did. All right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Take those, put that up there, right there, right? These are now this group, right? They should be. Whoa. Whoa, I love it when it does that. Let's see. Okay, this group has nothing, so we'll just do that. And then we'll group that. There we are. That's the sketch group. Wait. Yes, okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's all now in the flower group. Well, actually, this should be, hold on. This should be in its own group called line work. And then we'll put a group under this that will be color. And there'll be two primary colors, that color, and like a yellowish, kind of like that color for the, whatever the center of the seeds, whatever those things are going to be considered that right there. All right, so let's bounce back here. Let's go to our paintbrush. Let's get that other color. I said about 6 of my videos and I'm so impressed. Oh, look. You know what? Again, I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to make anybody feel bad. But I have heard some YouTube channels, and the people that talk on them, I think, wow, these people can barely get a sentence out. And yet, having said that, they make really great content. So the reality is that's what's going to matter. It doesn't matter what you sound like. You know, it's the nervousness thing. I used to do so much editing on our shows to take out every little time that we would, stumble on a word or whatever. And I gave up on that a long time ago. And you know what? Nobody cared. Nobody cared. So many shows now, people just stumble through sentences and, nobody cares. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's a good thing. I think that at some point, whether somebody is able to... Hold on, so I get this right. I don't think it matters. I really don't. I think what people are coming for is, what is the personality? Whether their voice sounds old or whatever term you want to use or not. I don't think anybody cares about that stuff. Really don't. They're there because they like the person. They like what the person's covering. They want to hear that person's opinion. And everything else is secondary. So, wait, what am I doing here? Oh, that's what we're doing. See? You think somebody's tuning into my channel to see somebody doing things the right way? No, they're not. So I wouldn't sweat that at all. What matters is I think there's a couple things. One other thing I think people can pick up on is whether people really enjoy what they're talking about, or if they're doing it because, they think it'll get views or clicks or whatever term we'll come up with next month for it. Engagement. That's what the company's like. Engagement. Did they click on your video? Did they stay on the video for 10, 15, 20 minutes? Did they follow the suggestion? Oh, Nonsense. So I would not worry about how you sound. I have never, ever in my entire life, for somebody, meaning me, for somebody who just, I'm just awkward and I don't know what I'm supposed to say half the time. I'm partially scared of saying too much, so I might get banned by YouTube. I don't know how they... Okay. All right. We're gonna stop for a minute here because I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant. So let me just say this. I'm gonna zoom out. Now I keep this as a relatively family-safe channel, and I will continue to do so. So I will use a term that is as harsh as I'm comfortable being, the channel that I want everybody to be able to come to. But you said the magic word. How the algorithm works. Screw the algorithm. The most vital 3 words you can commit to memory. Screw the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't work. It does not work. All that has to matter for you, is, are you making videos that you enjoy making? And if you're not, that's the thing you have to fix. Because you can sound as I have heard shows that sound like they've got a team of people producing them, and they are soulless and boring, and I never went back because it was very clear that the person was just making the video in the way that they thought that it would make it how the algorithm wants it to be. It's pointless. It's pointless. You're wasting your effort, you're wasting your creativity, and you're not going to be as happy. Don't chase the algorithm. Don't do it. Make the stuff you want to make. It may take a little longer for people to find you, but when the people find you, if you're making stuff that you enjoy making, they're going to stick around. You chase the algorithm, and the problem is the algorithm could shift next month because some random video goes viral with people who wear wooden clogs from, I don't know, Amsterdam. And then there's going to be 1 million people with clogs on. Do you really want to have to wear clogs? They're not comfortable. So don't chase the algorithm. Don't do it. Do not do that. I mean, there's certain things, like swearing and stuff like that, that the algorithm seems to look down on. Although even that, I have my suspicions about. I don't really think it actually cares. Not in the way that people think it does. But like I said, the number one thing should be that you're making the videos you want to make. Because, it's like everybody's got the same thumbnails. I've said this so many times, I feel like I'm just a broken record now. But that stuff, I have to admit, it really kind of gets under my skin because I think it's unhealthy for a number of reasons that people feel like they have to chase the algorithm. And I think it gives a unbalanced amount of power to YouTube or whatever platform you're using. Could be Twitch too. Because the reality is that algorithm should be chasing you. That's what should be happening, is they should want to be going towards creators who are doing different things. When everybody's just doing the same thing, what is that? That's boring. So they should be looking for people who are going outside of what the algorithm normally rewards, and those are the people that should be highlighted. You know, but they know, unfortunately, that most people are putting them ahead of themselves, meaning them, the algorithm, the company, whatever. That's bad. It's bad. And like I said, in the long run, I think it's just a recipe for failure. I think if you're going to keep chasing the algorithm's not going to stay the same. And it's not like YouTube is really, really upfront about how it works. We know they're not. So that's the thing, is if they were really clear about how things were working and people could see it and validate it and verify that, yep, what they're saying is accurate, then it's a different story. But they don't do that because, of course, they don't want to give away the secret sauce. I'm just trying stuff right now. I'm looking for contact and make. Okay, yeah. And that part, the trying stuff, that's what you should be doing. And what, you know, hopefully you land on something that you enjoy. But like I said, I know I'm just on a long rant about this, but I think the idea of chasing the algorithm, I think it will ultimately harm your creative output. You know, so you try all the different stuff and see if people respond to something. That's one thing. That's not chasing the algorithm. That's responding to what people are responding to. That I think you should do. That's a good thing. So if you get people that suddenly show up and say, like, wow, this is a really great video, you should make more of this, and it's something you like doing, well, that's what you want to chase, because those people will come back. It's like this channel is a perfect example. There's a handful of people who keep coming back here, and I've slowly gained subscribers, not any large number, but I have maybe a not unfounded confidence that those numbers will stay pretty solid, and they haven't really gone down in the whole time, because I'm not trying to do something. I'm just doing what I do. And if somebody finds it and they enjoy it, I think they're going to stick around, because they're going to know that nobody would do this on purpose. Nobody would fake this or architect this type of utter madness, you know, of how things are done. You know, there's so much better ways to do this kind of content than what I'm doing. So if they're finding it and if they're subscribing, I think they like what they're seeing. And it's certainly not because I've ever looked at, I don't know that I've ever looked at the numbers for this channel. Outside of, you know, I go to the content thing and make sure that the stuff is showing up properly, but I don't think I've ever actually looked at the dashboard or any of the numbers for this channel, so I have no idea. The only thing I know for sure is when there's subscribers, I get, you know, the little email or whatever comes in and says, so-and-so subscribe to your channel. Okay, I know that's happening. But as far as whether any of these videos are performing, what the average watch time is, blah, 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 I don't know any of that stuff. I never check any of that stuff. And I'm never gonna. Hi, Cutie. My dog is just looking at me. She's over there sitting in front of the air conditioning vent like she usually does. Hi. Hi. Staring at me like she wants something. But she can't really want anything because she's been fed and everything, so she's fine. Don't get me wrong. She'll look at me as if, and my wife, she'll look at us as if we never feed her. The typical dog look of, woe is me. Nobody feeds me. Nobody cares. Oh, and there, the side flop over. Because she just lives such a terrible life. So terrible. Even though, as I've said many times, this dog lives better than a lot of people, to be frank about it. But you'd never know it from the way that she gives looks, and she just lays on her side as if it's all just too much. The weight of the world piled on my little pup's shoulders. You know what? No, those are okay. Those are fine. I'm going to make darker colors in between it, but I'm just doing the outer edge here. So yeah, I think the idea of trying stuff to see what works, that's fine. Like I said, yeah, I don't like when people try to figure out what the algorithm is going to do. I just don't think it's a reliable thing. Oh boy, are they. You ain't kidding. They certainly are. They certainly are. Yeah, there's great. One of the few things that I actually really do enjoy about Instagram, because I generally don't like that platform all that much, but there are a lot of great dog accounts on there with people who post very, very funny videos of their dogs. And that is probably my favorite thing about Instagram. I would honestly never even use the thing, except that I know people who you know, put a lot of their stuff on there, and I try to support them through it. But otherwise, I would never use that app if I could help it, because I'm not the biggest fan of it. But you know, that's okay. Right, so let's sample this color. Let's go underneath. We'll go on top of this one. Let's go ahead and just do. Can't see it at the moment, but I'll do this. Push the brightness down. Whoa, that's weird. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Helps to be on the, or helps to have the layer on the right side. Actually, let's do this. Let's move that up first. And then we'll push the brightness down a little bit. See what we want to do. Yeah, 30's good. Okay, 30. I like 30. That'll be for the in-between spots on these. All right. Yeah. Okay. Just giving this a little bit of dimension. By putting some dark areas in between these, whatever these things are. I just know this flower had these, they might be seeds, they might not be. I don't know if there's a technical term for this. I don't even know what the flower actually was. I just found a flower that I thought was colorful and had interesting shapes. And that's what I used as the template for this. So, I don't even know what it is. But I had a bunch of these things on it, so. I thought about starting Instagram, but decided it's not really worth it for me at the moment. I think I'll focus on my YouTube for now. Yeah, it's a good idea. I really, the only reason I have Instagram at all is, I mean, a lot of artists do post on there. So it is good for finding artists. It's a good discovery mechanism. As far as posting on there, literally the only stuff I ever really post on there is shows that I, like videos for shows that I do, and this, the stream. That's it. Other than that, I repost other people's stuff, like I said, just to try to support them. But other than that, I don't use it. I've never really, you know, even when it wasn't before it was owned by Facebook, I never really got Instagram because I'm not as photo-centric as some people were. I understood the appeal for people who were posting lots of pictures. Like, don't get me wrong, I understood why it was popular, but it was never really for me. Now, you may hear some background noise because my AC is kicking on, so I assume the mic probably is going to pick that up a little bit. So if that's what you hear, that's what you're hearing. And of course, my dog's laying right in front of the intake vent, so lots of hair is going to go in there. Good thing I changed the filter on that thing today, because it's going to be getting some dog hair momentarily. Actually, right now. Because our dog has long hair and has no problem shedding it and shedding it and shedding it and shedding it. Like many golden retrievers. Very, very sheddy. All right, let's see. Let's push that brightness down a bit. Do 45 on that. There we go. And then let's do another layer. Put that there. And let's bring that brightness down. Well, the problem there, I've heard a lot of people getting their art stolen by AI and Instagram. The reality is artwork's being stolen all over by AI. Instagram or not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Facebook may be one of the worst companies on the planet in terms of their ethics and everything. So I would not at all be surprised if there's more of it happening on their platform than others. But don't kid yourself. Any platform that doesn't explicitly tell you that it's not giving artwork to these algorithms absolutely is. It's kind of the same thing as what happened with people's data as far as the sale of people's data, right? If you go to a site and that site doesn't explicitly say, hey, we don't sell your data, then you should assume they're selling your data. Unfortunately, that's it. AI is just the new version of that. And I don't like it. But that's one thing about Instagram is you just, I mean, it's not even artwork, it's everything. These generative engines are taking in everything. That's the reality of it. They will take everything in. And you just have to kind of know that. And if that does bother you, then I would say don't use it. Don't ever use Instagram. All I can do is slap a signature on my art and leave it alone. Yeah, there are tools that will actually make artwork unpalatable for AI. I'm trying to remember. One is called Nightshade, I think. which I've used. The only problem with that is it takes a long time to do what it does, but it will actually make your artwork. I'm trying to remember if they described it. They have a fascinating kind of breakdown of how they do it. I think it makes it where it can't understand what it is and it disregards it, but I could be wrong about that. It was clearly, it was written by people who are far smarter than I am. So I don't know that I understood exactly how it works. But I love the fact that they made it. But it does take a lot of processing power. And if you really want to make it so that I don't think it degrades the artwork slightly, but not enough that I think anybody would care. You know, it doesn't turn it into, let's put it this way, it doesn't turn it into Nintendo pixel graphics or anything like that, but it does do some type of degradation process on it that is one of the reasons it makes it unpalatable for AI. But like I said, I don't remember the exact explanation, but I read it and I was like, wow, this is really neat. And I got it. And I have used it, but it takes a while. I can't remember. I haven't run it on my new machine, so it probably would be faster, but it's certainly not going to be fast. And it's, you know, for me in particular, because a lot of my images are very large, it takes even longer. So, nobody knows what my art is. Anyway, I've been told it's very abstract. I'm working on it. Well, abstract is going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be safe from AI, but it's going to, it won't be as recognizable if these machines take it and replicate it, because abstract art, of course, the name tells you everything. It's not as clean to not clean, clean's the wrong word. It isn't as instantly recognizable in many cases, depending, as like this. You know, like, there's nothing abstract about this. This is a very, very cartoony art style. That's how my stuff is. So, were I to see this flower show up in the background of an image, it would probably be easier to identify than if I was doing something that was more abstract. Yeah, I don't know how these tools handle things like that. That is actually something I don't really understand about it. Is if it sees something abstract, how does it know what to classify it as? How does it know not to disregard it as, say, and don't take this as an insult, I'm just saying it to a machine. Abstract art, depending on how, what's a good word for it? Depending on how nebulous it is in terms of being able to recognize. In other words, abstract art can be where you still understand it's a person. Anime, well, see, and that, the anime and manga stuff, I would guarantee you that those tools are on the lookout for that, because that's a very common thing. There are lots of people, you've seen this on YouTube, I'm sure you have. Lots of people like to put anime girls in their thumbnails, even if it has nothing to do with what the video is, which is one of the things that when I see it, I immediately block that chat. Not block the channel. I'll say, don't show me that channel. Even though, by the way, there's a perfect example of how the algorithm doesn't work. I have told that thing, YouTube meaning, numerous times not to show me certain channels. They keep coming back. So if that thing actually worked the way it was supposed to, I wouldn't see those again. So that's what I mean about don't count too much on that algorithm working the way you think it's going to work. Because I don't think it actually works the way people think it's going to work. So, but yes, anime manga stuff, I would imagine that those tools are hungry for that stuff, because I see so much of that. Again, even on channels that it has nothing to do with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I guess there is just the basic you can count on type of appeal of, let me just tell this thing to generate an anime girl who has a really large chest, and people are just going to gravitate towards that. Okay. I don't know. That's going to get somebody to click on your video once. But if the video's junk, I don't know if that's going to keep working. So, you know, I guess it's a Hail Mary type of thing that, hey, if I can get them to click on my channel once, they might come back. But again, I find it to be I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that type of thing. I find it to be manipulative and kind of unimaginative, to be honest. But yeah, if you have that stuff, I think those tools are going to be after your work in a big way. Let's do... I think I'm actually going to need another layer here. Yeah, I think I have to duplicate this. And then I think I have to... I think I need to... What am I trying to do here? Oh, I know what I'm trying to do. I'm going to take this color. And on this layer, I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to take this back layer and I'm going to push this down even further. There we are. Okay. I don't like clickbait. I try never to... Yeah, that's... Well, no. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't like it either. I'm pretty... I think I'm... Oh, do I have to... Oh, yes, I do. I need to erase that stuff. Okay, so what I need to do is actually clear this layer right out. There we go. No, I'm the same way. That's why this is what I was talking about, where I don't bother with a lot of the thumbnail engineering that some people do. Now, don't get me wrong. I think some people actually enjoy it, and that's a different thing. If they have fun doing it, hey, do it. That's great. There are things where I will put a bunch of work into something that I know has very little payoff, and that's okay because I like doing it. For example, I love designing coffee mugs. Nobody ever buys them from the merch shops where I put them, but I like designing them, so I don't care. But, that's purely me having fun doing something that is going to generate nothing. Okay, I don't have to worry about that. It's on top of that layer, so that's good. So that type of thing, if somebody just genuinely really enjoys... Oh. Okay, this should be... Did I do two different colors there? Did I really do that? I think I did. Hold on. I gotta check that. That's that one. Yep, I sure did. Okay. So on the darker layer, I have to get rid of this. That type of stuff's fine. If somebody really, really has a good time trying to design the perfect thumbnail for their channel, go ahead. Have a good time. That's okay. It feels like lying to me, and I want to be pretty well... Yeah. Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. I think that's going to get rewarded in the long run. I think people recognize that difference. They may not necessarily just know it on the surface. They may not really understand why they can tell something's different, but they're going to know. Now, wait a minute. Did I just do this again? Hold on. Let me just check my colors. Oh, same color. Okay, so actually, where is that middle? This color. Is this on its own layer? Yeah, I messed myself up. Yeah. I messed myself up. Oh, no. Okay. No, I know what I did. All right. I got to do this carefully. Okay, so these, I don't believe, are all the same color. That's that color. Oh, no, they are. That's that color? And that's that color? Those are all the same, huh? Okay. Well, you know what? This is the secondary. Here's how we're going to fix this, because I'm getting myself into a hole here. So this color is going to be this leaf. Hey, Timber Dragon. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. That's going to be this leaf. That's going to be, I messed myself up over here very clearly. Take all that out, because that's not all that. This is the secondary color, so that would be this leaf. Oh, no, sorry. Yes, that leaf and this one, or petal, whatever we're calling these. That one is okay. So let's go ahead and just color all these in, because this is the only way I'm going to be able to do this without messing myself up again. I really should have named these layers like regular, dark, darker, darkest. That would have been the smart way. But we're well past that now. So I'm not going to bother worrying about what I did wrong before. Just concentrate on getting where I need to go now. I really did not think this entire stream was going to be just me working on this flower color, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. pretty sure. Whoops. Went out of the lines there. Let me do that carefully. How are you on this fine Monday? I assume it's evening, but whatever it is for you, Timber Dragon, how are you? Hope all is going well for you. As you can see, I'm just making tons of work. Oh, thank you. It's funny, I was just talking about this a little while ago that I don't even pay attention to any of that stuff, but thank you. I do get the alerts when new subscribers come, but I was talking to Carmelian about this. I went on a bit of a rant, so sorry, everybody. I wasn't trying to just go on and on and on about it, but as part of that, I said I never really check. I don't check the numbers on any of this stuff because I don't want to get caught up on the numbers. But thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, I mean, it shouldn't take as long as it takes me, except that I'm so bad about organizing my layers better. So it takes long. It takes as long as it does because I'm not doing it properly. Let's be honest about it. I could pretend it's because I'm struggling to get it just right. No, it isn't. It's because I'm not doing it right. If I was doing this in a more organized, structured way, it would not have taken me this long. But that's okay. It's like I always say. Or I don't know if I always say it, but I should say it more often. Make mistakes, just make them work for you. It's okay. I know I've said before that one of the things I remember from art school that has stuck with me is the idea that good artist takes whatever the errors are and figures out how to either incorporate them or not let them stop everything. And that is, of course, much easier in the digital realm, where mistakes like this don't destroy a piece of artwork the way they would have doing traditional work. Now let's turn on that one. Okay, now let's turn on that one. Yeah, so you can see where I've already. Yeah, yep. This should be here. That's the back one. That all goes away. That should not be like that. That one's okay. And you can see that I mean, this is all wrong here. So I'm on the right layer. Yeah, I am. This is all wrong. That should be like that. I unfortunately started mixing my layers up, so let me just do this really quick so that I can kind of visualize this fast. Let's see where I want to be. Whoop. Okay. Yep, that's good. So that, okay. And then, hold on. That's fine. Yeah, there. So now what I need is... Well, it was nice catching you on stream. I'm going to go to sleep now, though I have to record tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, man. Yeah, you too, Chameleon. Thanks for stopping by. And hey, listen, in all seriousness, I hope you find what you're looking for on your channel. And come back, and when you got it ready, post it. I'm happy to drive people your way. I want people to find creative people, so come back when you got it ready. Or whenever. Stop by anytime you want. Post whatever you want. Doesn't bother me. Go for it. Enjoy your sleep. Ice cold water. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of making this a lot more work for myself, what I'm going to do... Jeez, I got to get rid of all this stuff. Right? Okay, that looks like the darkest layer. That should not be that dark. That one's okay, because that's back there. That one's okay. So some of these are okay. That should not be that color. It should be darker than that. That makes sense. And let me just double check my colors here. No, come back. Yep, those are the same and they should be. Good. So I'm on that layer or not? I am not. Let me get to that layer. I'm on the correct layer now. Color that. There we go. That's right, that's right, that's right. Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. Yeah. Okay. So what I need to do is duplicate this layer. I'm going to slightly brighten this one up. Just a bit. Push the saturation up just a bit. Okay, now. Right. to erase that. That one's fine. This comes out. Yeah, I got it. Okay, then that. Yeah, this would come out. I mean, not that there's really an exact math to this, but of course I'm making it like there is when there's really not. So that would be the darkest one. This, what layer am I on? This layer should be here. So I now have to erase that. And then, sorry, I'm thinking out loud as I'm doing this. I'm trying to get this correct. I really did a number on myself with this. Really did. Okay. No, because that's going to be that one. Okay, I need another layer of color. Oh, man, I did this to myself. Okay. Yeah, I did this to myself. Boy, I really screwed this up. Yeah, because what I actually need is 5 colors. Not to mention, I really don't like those darker colors now compared to the other. Okay, you know what we're going to do? As incredible as this is going to sound, I'm starting over on the colors. This is my base color, right? So, add a layer. Sample this color. Okay? Now, where's where I need 5 layers? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So now I'm going to put a streak of this color here, and I'm going to bump it down just a bit. By 5. There it is. This is now layer number, oops. This is layer number 2, or color grade number 2. Put a layer, okay? Put this color right there. Go to that color, bump it down by 10. Actually, wait a minute. I want to see something. Before I do that, what happens if I take this color, put it there, and then bump that down by 5? Or is it going to be this? Whoa, why did it do 2 of them? Oh, I know why. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Put that there. Whoa, why is it doing that? That's weird. Oh, because there's a color under it. All right. There we go. That's why. Now, do that. And if I bump that down by 5, what does that get me? Okay, so we'll keep that. So we got 1, 2, level 3. Let's take this color, right? Up a layer. Put that onto this one. And now let's bump it down and see where we are. Okay. Now do I need to? No, don't touch the saturation. No, don't touch the saturation. Saturation's fine. Okay, so that, whoops. This is now level, what, 4? Because we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so now I need 1 more. So 1 more, and this will be level 5 right there. And this goes down just a bit more. There we are. Now I may adjust those once they're all done. So I'm going to find now all the level 5s. This is a level 5. Nope, get the right color. Level 5 right there. Okay, are there any other level 5s? Yes, 1, 2. No, that's 4. That's only 4. I think there's only the 1 level 5. Perfect. That's okay. So there's 1 level 5, which is this one right here. That's the only one that's this dark. Right? Because that's 1, 2, 3. Yep. Nope. Nothing else is. So now, 1 level up from that is level 4. All right. Come on. There we go. So we bump back 1. This is level 4. Actually, I should do this. 4. Just do that. 3, 2, 1. That is 1, 2, 3. That's only 3. Yep. I don't think there's any other 4. Oh, yes, there are 4s. Hold on, because that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a 4. And this is a 4. All right? Now, this is a 3. 3. Oh, get to the right layer, Joe. There. Got it. 3. That's layer 3. Or level 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2. 3. This is a 3 as well because there's a 2 right there and a 1. Okay. That's only a 2. 1, 2. This is a... Ooh, wait a minute. This is a 4 back here. Get my 4. Go back to level 4. This one back here is a 4, which makes the one in front of it a 3. So this is a 3. Well, no, I had that backwards. 1, 2, no, it's a 3. Yeah, whoops. Sorry about that. This is a 3. I was right the first time. That's 3. This is a 3. That's a 4, so that makes this a 3. Yep, because there's 2 in front of it. Okay, so now I need my 2s, which is this. Go back a layer. Okay, that's a 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. And this is a 2. There, got them all. That's it. So there's only one layer 5, or level 5, whatever we're calling this. So let's do this one first, because this is the darkest one. So we'll color this one in. Yeah, like I said, this entire stream is just going to be doing this. It didn't freeze, right? Wow, it didn't freeze. Amazing. What are we at? Yeah, 51 minutes and it hasn't frozen. Okay. Well, at the very least, everybody, I commit to you that I'm going to get these colors done before this stream is out, because if I don't, I'll go crazy. Now we're on level 4. I got to at least finish the colors. All right, so we'll bring this down. There we are. And I got to be careful because, see, oh no, wait a minute. How is that not? Oh, it's behind it. So I can do this because it's behind it. Got myself mixed up for a minute there. Thought for a minute that I hadn't changed the color. I did. Just forgot the layer order, which is fine. That part's okay. So that goes there. Layer order really doesn't matter as long as you know what hierarchy, if I could pronounce it correctly, you're using. For a brief second, I forgot. And I thought I had made a mistake, but I did not. This time. Don't worry. There's still plenty of time for mistakes to be made. Plenty of time. Even at the very last ink or brush stroke or pen stroke that I make, there will always, always, always be time to make another error. Yes, there will. This is level 4? Yeah, it's level 4. I thought I went over the line. I didn't. Just barely stayed inside. Okay. Alright. There we are. Okay. So that's all my 4s. All the 4s are done. We go now to level 3, which is this one. Yes, it is. Hold on. I'm on it, right? I am. Level 3 it is. Let's go. Let's go, level 3. Okay. That. Alright. I think after this one, I'll go back to my Cyberhead, because that thing has just been sitting there waiting to be finished. Again, English. Wonderful language when you can actually figure out how to speak it. That one's been sitting there waiting, and I really do want to get it done so that I can put it in my threadless shop. Speaking of things where you're doing an effort and not much comes of it, which I'm not really complaining. It's fine. I am the biggest buyer of my threadless shirts. And that's okay. Because I like the designs I put on my shirts, so I don't mind wearing them, and I don't mind wearing my own work. Gotta believe in your own work. No better way to do that than to wear a shirt with it on it. I'm gonna order probably a couple tomorrow, because I need to have at least one for something coming up in the next few weeks. There we go. 3. So yeah, I want to make sure I get that shirt in on time. And Threadless can be a little slow in their shipping sometimes. So I always say bolt on an extra week to whatever you think it's going to be. I understand they make them all to order and everything, but at the same time, they do take their time sometimes. Not always. There have been occasions where I've gotten orders faster than I thought, but they have been rare. They have been rare. And sometimes with companies, like when a company is slower to make things, sometimes I actually kind of like it. That's generally my... Oh, I see. Yes, those are twos. Okay. I actually kind of enjoy that when I order movies from Vinegar Syndrome, because I order them and then they take so long to come that I forget that I ordered them. And so they're like a nice bonus when they show up. And I'm like, oh yeah, I ordered this movie. It was months ago, so I completely forgot about it. And here it is. I like that. It's nice. But it's not always good. I don't like waiting a long time for shirts. I like to get them so I can wear them. I just ordered a trilogy of films. Speaking of Vinegar Syndrome, they just released a box set of, I want to say they're Thai films or Indonesia, called Iron Eagles. There's Iron Eagles 1, 2, and 3. The gimmick being that the main stars are, well, this was a gimmick for the time, because this is from the 80s. In the 80s, if you were not alive, or not a big consumer of films of the time period, the 80s were not a time where you generally had a lot of women in leading roles. And so there was a kind of novelty to... Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, I thought I threw myself off again, but I'm okay. I know what I'm doing. So there was a novelty. There was a period of time where there was novelty in having women as action stars. Now, obviously, that wasn't a good thing. Unfortunately, today, it's far less of a thing. You know, it's not as uncommon as it used to be, which is a good thing. But yeah, so there were movies that were made, and the gimmick was that what they would call was like babes with guns or babes and bullets and stuff like that. And all that really meant was that you had a female character who was shooting everybody instead of it being like Sylvester Stallone, being a male character. And so these Iron Eagle films were made with that as kind of the gimmick. And they look really, really fun, especially the first two. From what I've read, the first two are just a riot. Third one apparently is not as good, but still fun. But, you know, I really like watching movies that aren't American films. I'm very familiar with American films. I grew up with them. So they're very familiar to me. There's not a lot in most that surprises me anymore. I don't even say that's a bad thing. I mean, my wife and I just watched Death Proof, the Quentin Tarantino movie, the other day. Great movie. The other day, we watched it yesterday. And great movie. Great movie. American film, but a lot of style, but also borrowing heavily from older films. It's intentionally set up to be like an old kind of 70s, 60s, 70s film in the way that it's constructed, which is great. But, like I said, I grew up watching American films. And so a lot of it is somewhat familiar to me, at least. So I find it's very interesting to me to watch movies from other countries, because a lot of times there's just a different feel to them. And I enjoy finding that kind of new thing where I'm like, oh yeah, this looks a lot like something I saw when I was younger, but there's a different twist to it because it was made by non-Americans. I think that can be really, really interesting. All right, now I have to figure these colors out because I don't exactly love the way these darker colors look. So I may need to brighten these just a bit. Or is it? Maybe it's the saturation that'll do it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Hold on. I mean, it does need to be dark, but I want it doesn't look related to the other colors. I'm not exactly in love with the way the color itself is now. So I'm just trying to, okay, that's not bad. All right, I kind of like that. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. This one I probably don't have to do too much to. Maybe, no, don't do that. Maybe just shift it a bit this way. Punch the brightness in. Yes, there we go. Well, it only took an hour. An hour. But, oh, it froze. It finally did freeze. Sorry, didn't realize. 2 seconds. Let me get it back so you can see it because I'm now done. So hold on. Let's see. That's the same. Well, whatever. It's fine. Okay. Come on. Here we go. All right. Hold on. Waiting for it to come back. There we are. Sorry. It went that so long without freezing. I sort of got used to it. Let me do that. All right. Well, there it is. The flower is at last done. And on that note, before it freezes again, and since it's been an hour, I'm going to bring this stream to a close. I'm not kidding when I say I would never have guessed that the entire hour was going to be on getting the flower color right. But you know what? Some days, that's just how it goes. I'm not upset about it. I'm just surprised by it. So thank you for hanging out. Luckily, this was a light technical issue show. It didn't really freeze till towards the end there. So that's good at least. It wasn't constantly happening. But thanks for hanging out for a bit as I work on the Plantastic Pothead, which is pretty close to being done now. I would imagine it will probably be done maybe on the next stream. We'll see. Yeah, probably. But anyway, on that note, thanks for stopping by, hanging out for a bit, and chatting. And as I've been saying for quite a while now, but it is a message I will repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat because it's worth repeating. Find a creator that you enjoy. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about somebody who needs your help, somebody who's struggling at making this work or is just getting started and could use the support. If you can support them monetarily, great. If you can't, money is not the only way. Tell people about the work that they're doing. Leave them a nice comment. Drop into their streams and say hello and tell them you like what they're doing. All these things add up, and they will absolutely mean all those things, whether it's money or not. Any type of feedback from people, for creators particularly, from people to understand that their creative output is reaching somebody, that is so hugely important. We take it for granted sometimes. I shouldn't say take it for granted. A lot of people don't think about that. They think, oh, the only way they're going to care is if I donate money. I'm telling you, that is not true. Creators need more than just, money is important, don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, we all need money to survive. But past that, many creators struggle with doubt. Many creators think that what they're doing is not being seen or it's not good, whatever good even means. And so that's where just leaving a comment and on a stream, somebody's drawing, you say, hey, I really like this. This is wonderful. Thanks for doing this, whatever. Again, I'm not talking about me. I'm fine. But there are people, and you'll probably pick it up, these people who are struggling a bit because they don't really know if what they're doing is reaching anybody. And in the end, it's something that I think most creators want to at least feel like that their work is appreciated in some way. So if there's a way that you can do that, take 5-10 minutes and do that. Find a random stream where somebody's drawing, hang out for a bit, say hello, whatever. Again, if you have the ability to donate to somebody, go ahead and do that. But don't let the inability to donate to somebody stop you. I don't have the money to support every single person I wish I could. My Patreon would be thousands of dollars if I did. Meaning me supporting other people on their Patreon would bankrupt me, except that I have to be realistic about it. So I try to make sure that I leave reviews, I leave feedback, I do all that stuff, because unless you're rich and you can bankroll lots of creators, which if you can, you should, but I'm guessing most people here do not have that ability. So the things that you can do can be simple, they can be inexpensive, but they will be hugely impactful and those people will appreciate it. So take the time to support a creator in whatever way makes sense for you. I'm rambling now at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and shut up. Thanks for being here, and until the next stream, again, great hanging out with everybody, and yeah.